Hey, want to give you an update on a whole garage update. It's a complete mess. Let me show you what's going on. I actually dove neck deep into this, getting the transmission all, well, it's all torn apart now. And it's all laid out on my table. I'll show you a couple tools I got for it, but I just decided that I have driven my car, but it's making some transmission noises, and it's not surprising because this was literally a $400 Craigslist transmission with unknown mileage, and nobody really knew the condition of it because they had bought it used too. So I'm surprised it worked this long, but it is making lots of whining noises in all gears, and it is the transmission. So I feel like I'm on borrowed time driving it right now with that transmission. So, you know, I want to get this in there, but I can't get this in there until the transmission done because I want to do them both at the same time. So I got scared and decided I'd just dive neck deep into it. I've literally watched like 16 hours worth of videos on how to do this. I actually feel pretty good about it. The one thing that sucks is that there's a lot of pieces, and the manual over here gives you like the order, but, and I got tips and tricks over here. A lot of times they don't tell you, or actually not a lot of times at all, they don't tell me at all like the stuff that I won't use out of this kit. And it's, I think the overall instructions are meant for somebody who actually knows what they're doing to begin with, and I am not. So it's kind of like, you know, this, let's see. Yeah, this one right here is the main output shaft bearing. And what you got to know is you're not going to use this. You're going to use this because it's the longer one, so that you can end up rollerizing your rear tail shaft. It doesn't tell you where like these plastic bushings go. You know that one of these that was going to be used for the tail shaft now gets used for like the forward drum. Yeah, so it's taken a little bit of trying to figure things out. Like when I come over to this stuff, I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of seals. But I find out that these larger white ones, you can either use that style or you can use the darker ones. There's two different styles. You can choose what you want to use. So there's things like that where I'm kind of just having to figure out through nothing but reading and watching videos. And I'm not gonna post on how to do this because I don't know how to do this, and I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. So got like a little overall right here that I'm looking at. I'm kind of bringing over one section over here at a time to work on. So like this one, I brought this back over because I didn't like the way that I pressed the bearing into there. So I have a new bearing coming because I think it went in just a hair crooked. I feel like it binds just a little bit on the shaft, so replace that. But middle doing this one. A couple of the tools I bought were this little $60 arbor press from Harbor Freight. It has worked good on a lot of this stuff, but like it won't work on this because that's too tall, unless you mounted this like overhanging the bench. But it's too tall unless you did that. I think the problem why that went in so crooked was because I was using my ghetto Harbor Freight press, and that has some wobble to it, and I think that's why. So I got to figure out how to get that one in straight. I don't really want to hammer them all in, but if I have to and it goes in straight, that's fine. I got a little washing area with brush. I got two different lubes. I got a tacky one and a light tacky one. So like the stuff that I'm putting in, I don't want to stick the bearing to. I don't want it to fall down. I'm using the high tack. Everything else, I'm using the regular lube. I got transmission fluid in here to kind of squirt on stuff as I go through it. And as I'm pulling stuff out, replacing it, I'm just kind of tossing it in this bin. It's a mess. It is a freaking mess. I got this. This is a lifesaver. $60, $56 on Amazon. It's basically a bearing press kit, and it has millimeters. Every one steps up or steps, it's just 1 millimeter increments on this whole thing. So you can find every size you need to push out every one of those bearings. That to me is a must. The valve body stuff down there, that's gonna be like the last thing that gets touched. So basically the last thing I pulled out of here is the last thing I'm working on. Like this is pretty much done except for that shaft. And then, so I'm kind of just working my way. Hoping to get stuff done, put in there as I go. This tool I have not used yet, but this is a spring compressor deal for these. So you push down on these and pop that clip out. This was like 50, 60 bucks. I figured I'm gonna buy some tools because I am gonna rebuild this transmission when I'm done. Because even though this sucks, it's kind of fun. So I wanna make sure, gosh, it's so freaking humid. If I have the tools, I can do it again on the second transmission and I'll be stoked. And then if I break anything on failure in that one, I have tools to take it apart again. So that's my thinking. Anyways, transmission is taking up a lot of time. Come over to the engine. I stopped putting this together because I got a little scared on the push rod length. So it was kind of inconsistent the way that I saw the different ways to tighten up the rockers, torque them down. I was getting more turns than others, and so I just stopped and I got a push rod length checker. So I'm gonna go through and do those all again. I have a feeling I might need a different length push rod because of the cam and the heads being milled a little bit and the new springs, I don't know, but I just feel like the push rod length is not perfect. So I want to get that right before I move forward. But yeah, hoping to get these done same time, put them both in the same time, get it running. Because like I said, it's all in prep for the turbo. Don't want to put that in on the current stuff because I don't trust the current stuff to last at all. And the transmission's already making noise. Don't want to get a situation where I just totally trash the components in here now because everything in here runs, it's rebuildable, it's good. Another cool thing, I got I don't know if you guys can see that, a 220 outlet for the garage. I did not have one before. The main reason is for a welder. I decided that there's no way I'm gonna make that turbo just bolt on with pre-bought flanges. So I got a welder. I'll show that in the next video. It's not here yet. It's actually on order and you guys might be surprised what it is. Welder will be here so I can start, so I'll be able to weld up my piping. And that'll help me because there's no way I'm gonna beat myself buying little parts here and there to try to make that fit and it's not gonna fit. So I also have some a cosmetic piece coming for the car. It could be here next week or two. I think it's gonna look really good in the car. If it doesn't, I'm sure you'll let me know, but I have a good feeling about it and I think it's gonna look really rad. It goes on the exterior of the car. I'll just leave it to that. Then, let me take you outside. You will notice there are no You'll notice there's no Chevy cars or trucks in the driveway. Truck sold. I got a little excited about the truck, even though I originally bought it just to flip. That was like the main thing in the whole beginning of that truck was to flip. Then I started fixing some stuff. It kind of made me excited. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to slack off on my car. So truck went by. I used that money instead of buying another project car to do the outlet, welder, some of these few small tools to get some stuff that I have, because this is the main focus. This needs to be dialed in, and I can't do that if I'm distracting myself with other cars. On that news, the iRock is gone. You guys made way too much fun of that and gave my son a mullet complex. No, I'm just kidding. He decided that since he is in school, it would not pass emissions. Wasn't gonna throw a ton of money at that because those cars are chock full of emissions. That it might be better for him to wait to get a project car until he has time to actually work on it. Otherwise it's gonna be sitting, rotting. So that car was gone, didn't lose any money. So we're back down to the key components, which is this. So I'll keep you posted on the transmission rebuild and that motor and more stuff I got coming for this. And we'll just stay focused on this car. And I'll finally be able to weld my rock sliders on my 4Runner. They've been sitting here for like 5 years. Well, maybe not 5 years, maybe 3. So yeah. Garage a mess, but stuff's getting worked on.